Congressman, it's good to see you again, sir. It's great to have you back on the show. What did you make of Democrat presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. warning there's a farmland buying spree by Wall Street hedge fund billionaires in China? He's worried that they're turning American farms into, quote, corporate fiefdoms that will dominate the U.S. food industry. I mean, we know Chinese investors, they own a fractional amount of U.S. farmland overall in the hundreds of millions of acres. What do you make of this story?
Very interesting story. Look, food security is a matter of national security, and that's why it's so important that we have the Farm Bill that assures that farming either becomes or remains profitable, and that somehow we incentivize younger people to remain as farmers or become farmers. And so it's a little bit troubling that big corporations are trying to buy all the farmland in the United States. We know that China was buying farmland, especially close to military installations. There are some rules now that are prohibiting that, but you know, it's a threat both internally with these big corporations and obviously China trying to buy up farmland in the United States.
Yeah, it's up to the states, right, to deal with it, Congressman. We hear what you're saying. I mean, 21 states, we're finding 21 states have some sort of restriction on foreign businesses or governments owning farmland in the U.S. But then you get stories like Fufeng USA. It's a subsidiary of Chinese agricultural company. It wanted to build a $700 million corn mill in the city of Grand Forks, North Dakota, on 300 acres of land. So you see these anecdotally stories crossing the wires. You say, wait a second, what's happening? You know what I mean?
No, I know, but that particular plant, I believe, was about 10 miles away from an Air Force base, a critical Air Force base to our defense system. And so I think that particular purchase was shut down. And then there are rules now by the Treasury Department kind of to make sure that that doesn't happen. Look, China needs, it can't feed its own people. I mean, they need 30% of their food is actually imported. And so it's no, I mean, I guess it's not surprising that they would be buying farmland not only in the United States but around the world in order to make sure that it can supply its own people. But again, we have to make sure here in the United States that we have food security for us here in the United States. Like I said, food security is a matter of national security, and we need to assure that that remains in American hands, and that the food supply that we produce is for our consumption, or we sell it around the world as we see fit.
So China has fears of food insecurity. Is that why it sent a Chinese spy balloon over the U.S.?
That and other reasons, I'm sure. You know, the spy balloon was there to pick up, I'm sure, all kinds of information on our defense facilities, nuclear sites, and I'm sure, you know, what else it could pick up. I mean, it was allowed to travel from one end of the United States to the other before we finally shot it down after it completed its mission, which, again, made no sense to me. But, again, that's what the Biden administration does. The things they do, they don't make any sense.
Got it. Congressman Carlos Gimenez, thanks for joining us tonight. It's good to see you.